Well, I'm going to ask you guys, maybe Henrik, you can start since you just got the ring. Tell us about the call you got and how that all transpired when you heard for the first time you were going to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I was in Dallas for my son's soccer tournament, and I was driving one of those 7-lane highways and trying to find an exit to get to the soccer pitches. And I got a call from Toronto, and it was Mike who called me, and I had my son next to me, and he was filming everything, so it was pretty neat.
Can you imagine that, getting the news, you're going to the Hockey Hall of Fame with your kid beside you in the car? That's fantastic. Daniel?
Yeah, I said yes. I was in the bathroom back in Sweden, so...
Perfect, good stuff.
A little bit different. But it was still a great call to get, and they told me to not call Henrik, because they still had to make that call, so it was, it was special.
Perfect. How's that for a contrast, eh, guys? And just to be clear, you were alone. You weren't with your kids.
Alone.
Perfect. Excellent. Lou, I'm sorry, it was too easy. Lou?
Yeah, I actually spoke about it yesterday as well. I was at work at the office, but I was actually told that usually you expect a call around noon. So by the time 12:30, 1 o'clock rolled around, didn't hear anything. I was pretty bummed. And when you know at 2 o'clock my phone rings, so I run to my office, obviously take the call, and found out the news, and all the people that work with me were just waiting outside my door, so it was pretty funny.
Beautiful. Fantastic.
Yeah, I was in Sweden, a summer house with some friends, knowing that a call might happen. But like Lou said, we were Swedish time, so 40 minutes before they're going to announce it, no call had came, and I thought, okay, not this year again, but we'll have some beers and have a fun night anyway. And 2 minutes later they call, and it was special. Having family and the kids at home, my wife and some friends there made it a very special evening.
My question is specifically for the Twins. So 2009 is when your careers really took off towards superstardom. You've got the back-to-back Art Rosses, back-to-back President's Trophies, Stanley Cup final appearances. But the summer of 2009, you were free agents, and there was a guy named Brian Burke, who was the GM of the Leafs at the time, who said he was on his way on a plane to Sweden to sign you. So I want to know, how close did that ever actually come to fruition, and do you think your careers would have played out any differently if that happened?
Oh, how close? He was on a flight to Sweden, so I'm guessing it might have been close. But for us, there was never. I don't think it was never a question of us leaving Vancouver. Like we wanted to resign, and sometimes that's what happens, and it's a business decision after all. And it took time, but we managed to get it done.
Do you guys ever have like your own twin language, like on the ice, and how did that affect both of you playing together?
Alex Burrows used to say that we spoke like dolphins. So, I don't know what that means or if it's good or bad, but we made sounds. So yeah, I think our connection was more playing together for so long. We played together since we were 12 years old on the same line, so no secret language. Do you have a secret language with your twin?
I have a twin brother. We do a little, but it's not, I wouldn't say as prominent as your guys' is.
I think it's just some players you connect with on the ice, and you think the game the same way. And for us, and for me at least, watching Alfie play, I think he would have been a good line mate as well, and a guy that I think you could have played with the same way. It's just you think the game the same way, and that's why it worked out. And us spending so much time together too on the ice, on the same line, facing a lot of different problems that we had to solve. That's what happens when you do that.
I had the opportunity of meeting all of you at BC Children's Hospital when I was a lot younger, and my question is, why was it so important to you to give back to the community in that way?
I think Brian Burke played a big part in that. I think Pat Quinn before him too. As soon as you signed with the Vancouver Canucks, I think they told you that what you do in the community is very important. It's as important as what you do on the ice. So that was kind of instilled in us right away, and when you go to Children's Hospital, you kind of realize that hockey is not it's not everything, right? It puts perspective into life, and it's such a great place to visit and meet all the people there and their parents and the kids.
If I could just add to that as well, as playing in Vancouver for years, the team is part of the community. It is a community. Anywhere you go, that's all you see in the city. So as hockey players, we're so privileged to be doing what we love and getting paid for it. So to give back in any way possible, and just walking into the hospitals or whatever it was, it just seemed to look on people's faces, not only the kids, but the nurses and the doctors, and they were more excited than the kids themselves. So it's just lightens up the day a little bit for them, maybe, that are going through a difficult time.
I'm here with my son. Wow, I followed you guys. I followed the Canucks. 1970, I was born. The Canucks came in 1970. Again, I'm a little starstruck. I had Trevor Linden sign my golf card in Victoria. He attested me. I'm just in awe right now. The question I have, or what I want to say is, Louis, 10 years ago, I brought my son to his first Canuck game, and we were standing behind the bench, and you weren't playing that game, and you were stretching the other side of the rink, and I kept doing this. And you came over, you opened up the door, and you gave my son a puck. You turned him from a hockey fan into a diehard Canuck fan at that time. We still have the puck. Stand up, Aiden. Sorry, man.
You're a lot bigger than I remember.
So, do you actually remember that? Because it was an absolute jaw-dropping time for us. The gentleman holding the camera said you'd never done that before, and it's not a usual thing. So, thank you. I emailed it.
My pleasure.
I sent you guys an email. I'm in awe. You guys, I had 1,000 questions to ask, but I'm not going to have time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Henrik scoring his 1,000-point Louis on you because you're a very competitive person. By the way, thanks to you, I actually became a goalie captain for my ball hockey team, so thank you. And Sedins, Daniel passed and he got the goal on you. Was there a little bit of like bittersweet moment that Henrik got it? And Henrik, were you like, yeah, you know?
Yeah, Henrik didn't tell you guys I did it on purpose?
I thought so. So did he comp your meal, right?
No, well, you know what's funny? I knew that he was 1 point away, and in my head I already knew it was going to happen. Was it a goal or points?
It was a goal.
No, I know it was a goal, but were you 1 goal away or a point away?
Goal? From what?
I don't know.
I never scored.
Career goal.
50 goals?
So I knew as soon as he got the puck, he was going to do something silly, and obviously went through my 5-hole. That's the only place
I still don't know why you let it in. Like, I always went 5-hole in practice, and I never scored, so I don't know why that happened.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
The question I have is, what is your favorite or best moment of yours, but not specifically from a team perspective, like advancing to the finals or something, like just something you specifically did? What is your favorite hockey moment?
For me, there's a couple, I think, but the first one, I'll have one from Florida, one from Vancouver. The Florida one is playing in my 1,000th game. I think it's incredibly difficult to do that as a goalie, so makes me feel old, but at the same time, it just all this work and you put in every year to be in shape, stay healthy, and work at your craft and try to be at the top of your game. So to be able to accomplish that was something I'm pretty proud of. And the second moment is actually a hockey moment that we live with these guys is when we beat Chicago in overtime in Game 7. If you see, and the reason I say that is because if you watch the tape again after Burrows scored and you look at our celebration, you would have thought we just won the cup. Like, we were going absolutely bananas. It was crazy.
And rightfully so. To get that far was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable run.
I was going to pick that too, but for me, I'll pick another one where I think when Trevor Linden came back to Vancouver after a few years away, I think it was what year was that?
I think second year.
Yeah, I think the support he showed us, and not only to us but to the outside, I think fans and a lot of people changed their view on us, and I think that meant a lot to us.
I'll pick two, and that's scoring a Lou for my 1,000 points. Oh, that was, I mean, it was a long way leading up to that, and to do it on him and the way he came out and celebrated with me, that was a special moment for sure. And with Daniel and Alex Eller having the helpers on the goal. And then secondly, I'll say our last home game where Daniel scores in overtime, something we'll always remember.
And I was wondering if you guys have ever, throughout all of your pro career, junior, NHL, regular season, preseason, have switched jerseys with each other just for fun and just to mess around with people.
I think
we tell them the truth that you're actually Daniel and you're Henrik, and they're messing with all of us right now.
You'll never know. I think we all know Kevin Bieksa. He likes to talk and tell stories. We've never changed jerseys. We've never done anything like that. The only thing we have done is at a face-off or a few face-offs, I've been thrown out and I've been skating over to Danny, skating around him, and then go back in again and take the face-off. That's happened a few times.
Tell a quick story about the save in the gold medal game. I've told it a few times. I don't know if you guys have heard it or not, but when I made the elbow save on Pavelski and the puck dropped in front of me, I was covering that puck. I was freezing it, like I was going to kill the play. And out of the corner of my eye, and I heard Scott Niedermayer call for the puck behind the net. So instead of freezing it, I just slid it to him behind the net. He took it all the way up the ice. The whole play happened, and then Sid happened to score the gold medal game. So that, I actually think about that a lot, because not only if I make that save, don't make that save, but also if I freeze the puck, does it change the outcome of the game? These are all things that you think about. Now that I've had time since I retired, you think about these things, right? So you think about all these things, and it's funny how every little thing could change the course of history, and it's kind of neat to think about it sometimes.